In this video, I'll show you how to get started making a code mod for Kerbal Space Program 2 using ThunderKit, Unity, and BepInEx. This video assumes you've already installed Unity 2020.3.33 and then installed ThunderKit into a fresh project. If you already have done that, you're going to need to import the game, so go to Tools, ThunderKit, and then Settings. Go to the ThunderKit Settings section in the Settings window and click Browse to find your Kerbal Space Program 2 folder. I've already got this open here so I can copy and paste it. Now select the Kerbal Space Program 2 executable. Next, go to the Import Configuration section, and then under Included Settings set the value to Everything. Lastly, go back to the ThunderKit Settings section and click Import to begin the import process. This will take a minute, so just wait for it to complete. Once done, it will ask you to restart Unity. You should do so at that time. Now that we've set up Kerbal Space Program 2, we can get started on making our mod. The first thing we need to do is create a folder to hold all of our project files, so right-click on Assets, Create, and then Folder. Enter an appropriate name. I'll use my mod. Now we're going to need a few assets from ThunderKit in order to set up our project. So navigate to the Packages, ThunderKit, Templates folder. Open up the BepInEx folder, select the default BepInEx manifest and drag it while holding Ctrl into your My Mod folder. Do the same for Rebuild and Launch. Now let's create a folder to contain all of our scripts. I'm just going to name it Scripts, but you can name it whatever you'd like. After that, we need an assembly definition to hold all of our scripts so that we have an assembly. I'm going to name it My Mod, which will be the name of the assembly. The next thing we need to do is install BepInEx into the project so that we can reference it for our mods. So let's go to Tools, ThunderKit, Packages. In this window, you can expand the ThunderKit Extension section and select BepInEx KSP2. Now click Install. You'll see some errors down here. That's normal and expected. You can just clear the console. If you see other errors that come up that don't go away, that indicates you have a problem you need to resolve in your project. For now, let's close the Packages window because we no longer need it, and let's update the configuration for our assembly to use BepInEx. Select your assembly definition, then click on Override References. Add an element to Assembly References and select BepInEx in the list. If you want to use Harmony or MonoMod Runtime Detour, you'll need to add those as well. I like to use MonoMod, but you may prefer Harmony. You just need to select the right assembly from the list. You can see Harmony up here and MonoMod stuff down there. So I'm just going to select MonoMod and then click Apply, and that will set up the assembly to reference them. Now we can create our first script, so right-click on your Scripts folder, Create, then C# Script. Name it My Mod Plugin. This will be our BepInEx plugin class file. Open that up in your code editor. Now let's change this around a little bit to clean it up. First, I'm going to add a namespace. Then instead of deriving from mono behavior, we need to derive from base Unity plugin. To make that accessible, add a using statement for BepInEx. Now we can find base Unity plugin. We can delete all this because we don't need it. We also need to add the BepIn plugin attribute and fill in the values. The GUID has to be a unique value, so I'm going to use my nickname.examples.mymod. Then also put in the name of your mod in the name field. Lastly, put the version in so that you can track the version of your mod. Now, just to make it so we can tell that our mod is actually executing, we are going to add an awake function, and then we're going to log to the console. We could do that using the logger provided by base Unity plugin. My mod is awake. Now we have our basic plugin. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit, save it, and go back to Unity. Now that we have our mod, we can set up our deployment so that we can test this easily. First, I'm going to rename my manifest to My Mod Manifest, just so that it is clear in case I want to create more manifests in the future. Next, fill out the manifest identity. Finally, we need to add our assembly that we just created to our manifest. So add an element to the definition section, and then drag and drop the MyMod assembly definition into it. Now to make this easy to use, I'm going to turn on Quick Access, and I'm also going to turn on Quick Access for our build and launch pipeline. Select these up top and then hit Execute. ThunderKit will build our mod and display the results in the pipeline log window that opens. You may also need to check the console if things don't seem to go quite right. The console and pipeline log windows will show you if you had any errors building your mod. As you can see, BepInEx is loaded. We can scroll up here and we can see that indeed my mod is awake and Kerbal Space Program 2 has started. Good luck and have fun modding.